Ladies and gentlemen, the Michael Oldroyd Comedy Podcast is brought to you by Droid Entertainment. It is an independently produced show, and if you enjoy it, please subscribe. Feel free to write a review of the podcast on whatever platform you use to ingest podcasts, whether it's iTunes, Blueberry,
Spotify,
whatever it is. And if you've done all of these things and you still want to help, then go ahead and just send me some nudes, all right?
send me money, send me nudes. Don't be a Jew, don't be a prude. Send me money, send me nudes. Don't be a Jew, don't be a prude.
Yeah, I'm actually part Jewish. Now, enjoy today's episode.
As hilarious as that music may sound, it is not how I want to kick off my podcast.
Welcome to the Michael Oldroyd Comedy Podcast. It's going to be so much fun where he makes humor of himself and the many things in New York City. Oh, and by the way, this is not the voice of Bruno.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Michael Oldroyd Comedy Podcast. This is freaking episode 248. That's two separate 48s, guys. That's pretty freaking exciting because I love the number 48 for multiple reasons. Jazzed to be able to bring you so many episodes, you know what I mean? Like, here we are out of Wildwood, Missouri. It's Monday, March 9th, 2026, 6:45 p.m. Central Time. And we just had... What was it? Sorry, I don't know what that noise is. There's something going off. There's a... Thanks. It's always nice when you get interrupted, by random noises during your podcast. Anyway, spring forward, right? So we lost an hour yesterday. We moved the calendars forward so we get more daylight. Now it gets darker later, which is kind of cool. But everyone lost sleep and everyone's been dragging ass today, huh? Hey, who's been dragging ass? Why don't you... Can we get a show of hands? Who's been dragging arse today? Luckily, the sun was out. The weather was beautiful here in Missouri, at least. So I went for a run to get things going. I hope you guys had a chance to experience the nice weather. And if you had a day of work or school, maybe you still could go for a walk afterwards. Maybe right now you're going for a walk while I'm recording this. I don't freaking know. But what I do know is that I got some vitamin D on my integumentary system, which is the skin. And if you know what the integumentary system is, then you might have studied biology and like human anatomy. Maybe you're a doctor, or maybe you're like Buffalo Bill or something, or maybe you're like Leatherface from what's it called, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, I know that started off really dark, and I apologize. I was pre-med once, so that's my reason for knowing what the integumentary system, which is the largest organ in or on the human body. Jeez, I can't even fucking speak. What the heaven, Today, Junior. Jeez, Mike, Episode 248 already. Jeez, get to it. Why don't you talk about what's going on in the freaking world and get back on track, you putz? All right, I says to myself. All right, so anyway, it's sun's going down. I'm doing a video portion of this podcast because it's the easiest way for me to get more watched hours on YouTube. So check it out. It's at the Michael Oldroyd. I'm sure you can spell it because it's spelled this way on the frickin' podcast. You sexy, you very attractive listener of mine. You attractive listener/listeners of mine. Speaking of, the downloads continue to come in, and they're spicy. Those numbers are increasing in velocity, and it really is. I'm thankful. I'm grateful to see that the downloads are continuing, that this podcast is continuing to grow. And thank you guys. Appreciate you. If I haven't given you a laundry list that's long enough of to-dos for me, go on every platform, like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on the video on YouTube and just let it run in the background. You can even mute me, for goodness sakes. Let's get those watchtowers, and let's all have a pizza party afterwards, like in elementary school. When I get my 1,000 subscribers and my 4,000 hours watched, let's all have a pizza party, huh? Let's all get together and have a nice little pizza party when I can monetize my YouTube and I make like 14 cents from it, So that's great. Thank goodness I'm not leaning on YouTube as my monetization for making money. It will only be a nice passive stream, and who knows, maybe it'll eventually become my number one stream of income. I don't freaking know. I'm not going to put limits on it. Jeez, Jeez, guys, seriously. What's this guy's deal, huh? Don't you like it when I talk to myself in the third person or in the second person and then I respond to me all in one thing? Anyway, episode 248. What do you say we talk about what's going on in the freaking world as you listen to the dogs barking in the background here? I got my window open. I was hoping for bird chirps, not necessarily dog barks, but I'll take whatever I can get because beggars can't be choosers. You just got to appreciate, live animals barking. Gosh, is it terrible that my mind wanted to create a Buffalo Bill reference? Get the dogs to be quiet. I don't even. Is there a dog in? But I guess there was in Silence of the Lambs, right? The girl and her dog. Anyway, sorry about that. What a crazy freaking film. Have you guys seen that? Yeah. Anyway, shout out to, Anthony Hopkins and the chick, Jodie Foster, for tearing. Hey, International Women's Day. Let's do that. We'll talk about that. Let's jump. We've already dipped our toe into what's going on in the world. What do you say we do a gosh dang cannonball? I'm gonna go. Try to get my dog to settle down politely, like a true gentleman, like an owner who actually values the gosh dang animal. And I'm gonna try to bring him in here. Maybe he can nestle with me. Maybe I'll show him to you guys, and it'll incentivize you to download or watch on YouTube, which is at the Michael Oldroyd. I can't say that enough. At the Michael Oldroyd YouTube handle, channel, whatever it is. Anyway, let's go ahead and we've dipped our toes in. Let's go ahead and let's cannonball. Let's cannonball into the frickin' episode right now. What's going on in the world? Here we go. Tighten up those. Bring the knees to the chest. Okay, I jumped, knees to chest, and here we go.
What? Oh my gosh, this is exciting. What? I was wondering if you happen to know what is going on in the world. What is going on in the world? What is going on in the world? What is going on in the world? What? 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 What?
All right, fellas and fellettes. Is that a fillets? What's up with the freaking Silence of the Lamb theme? All right. We're 2 weeks away from spring, guys. Does that make you randy? Because the spring has been definitely teasing us. It's like a woman with a thong. She continues to tease us. Today was a beautiful day. Hence, I went for a run, got some vitamin D on my integumentary system. Got my cardiovascular going. Definitely feeling. I think you guys, if I'm quiet, you can hear the birds chirping. Thank Zeus. Thanks Zeus for that. Yeah, I talked about daylight savings time. I hope you guys are get on track fast. Nobody likes losing an hour, but who doesn't mind getting the sunlight? Am I right? Jeez, you should be thankful for it. There's some people on the polls that don't get it for like an entire several months. Okay, stop being entitled and appreciate the sun. Okay, you freaking entitled motherfuckers. No, I love you. Obviously, jeez. Okay. Anyway, I think I talked about the downloads from all over the world and the podcast keep growing. I can't remember because I tried recording this once or twice now and it's fucking with my head. So I can't remember what I already said because I didn't have the camera on the first time around. It's really pissing me off. Did I already talk about how I can't remember. All right, cool. Anyway, International Women's Day, guys. Huh? I think that was recently. It's Women's History Month right now. So let's give it up for Jodie Foster from Silence of the Lambs. She was a kick-ass doctor or whatever she was. That was an incredible set of films, actually, with Anthony Hopkins, who is a unique freaking dude, by the way. Anthony Hopkins, freaking unique fella. I'm scared of him, but I like him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Well, how do you guys feel about Anthony Hopkins? He can really play a complete psychopath and seem like the most normal person ever, and that's wild. That's wild AF. Anyway, so we got spring's coming up. We got daylight savings time. We got International Women's Day and Women's History Month. To kick things off, Women's History Month, we started with a nice celebration by firing Kristi Noem. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Giving all women a bad name. Am I right? Great job, Kristi. Way to start it off strong. No, she lost that job a long time ago when she called people terrorists that were not terrorists. And yeah, that's called gaslighting. That's called gaslighting a victim. That's like blaming like Buffalo Bills victims for getting caught and then like saying that it was their fault and that they're terrorists. Like that's sorry, okay? That's not how we operate. But there's a lot of great women out there that give women a good name, and whose faces aren't falling off. You know what I mean? There's a lot of women out there who are all natural. And by the way, I like women whether they're all natural or not. I understand the aging process. I almost and trying to combat it and do things. You know, I almost put in my teeth whitening trays to do this podcast. You know, to whiten my teeth, which would have made me like talk kind of like this, but there's only so many hours in a day, especially with daylight savings time, guys. So I understand the fighting the aging process just as well as anyone else. So I'm not hating on her for getting work done. I just happen to not like her in particular. It's about time they fired her. You know that Trump and her probably had this conversation. It was like, hey, Sarah, I got to do this. I really like you. But, you know, for the optics of it. And I'm just going to reassign you to another job. The same way, you know, the Catholic Church reassigns priests that are pedophiles. You know, don't fire them. Don't get rid of them. Don't, you know, convict them of anything. Just reassign them to a different part of the world. You know what I mean? Just to reassign them. No biggie. Anyway, does it sound like I'm kind of negative? Because I'm a positive fella, guys. All right? I just want to say I'm positive. I like comedy. I'm a comedian. You know, I'm just making fun of Kristi Noem the same way South Park does. I don't know if you guys have seen those episodes where they have her face falling off constantly and then people have to, like, put it back on. Ice has really died down since this Iran thing, huh? Anyway, stock market tanking. Hey, tanking. No big deal, just sucking ass since we invaded Iran. Portfolio dropping like a motherfucker. Hey-o. Hey-o. You know, so that's always fun, seeing your net worth just, you know, drop in multiple digits. You know, no big deal. Hey, you know. Great stuff, you know what I mean? Let's get excited over the price of, you know, oil going up and fluctuating. I guess it went up and now it's kind of like stabilized a little bit. It was up at like 120 a barrel. Now it's under 100. You know, it's like a game of whack-a-mole. Who knows? You know, like what it's going to be like tomorrow. You know, like you never even know what to believe when you see stuff. That's why you can't just believe anything. It's all about the sources, guys. Because I saw something that said, you know, even though Trump is saying that things are going really well in Iran, there's other sources that say it's not. So I saw somewhere that, you know, Russia's now getting, you know, assisting Iran and you know, so it's just like, hey, you know, just a casual slide into World War III, no big deal. You know, just a nice thought out thing there, no big deal, you know. Hey, Pete Hegseth, you know, just gotta drop bombs, just do whatever you want, dude. No consequences. You'll figure it out, right? We'll just kind of do some stuff, see what happens, figure it out like Elon Musk did with USAID and just shaking things up. Hey, let's just shake up the tree and see what falls, huh? That's, yeah. Trump is not just a bull in a china closet. He's been in the china closet and he already destroyed a bunch of stuff. So there's not as much to destroy anymore. Isn't that? Hey, there's a positive, huh? There's a positive, guys. I maybe I'm oversimplifying. I don't know, you guys. All the Republicans that are MAGA probably have already tuned me out a long time ago. Probably, you know. I try to keep it neutral, and hey, maybe I can do something to make fun of both sides, just to kind of keep everyone happy here. Biden's old. Okay. Does that kind of equal things out? Oh, Biden, look at him. He can't walk. He fell a few times. Wow. It's both sides. It's equal, you know? We got one guy, Trump, who's, you know, affiliated with a pedophile, you know? Best friends for, like, decades. Not even, like, a short period. That's just decades, you know? And allegedly, was forcing himself upon a 12-year-old girl who took a bite out of his, you know, his Johnson, and apparently it's not even something to joke about. I was trying to make a comparison and talk about how saying that's equal to an old man who like falls downstairs every once in a while because he's old, and as a juxtaposition to point out the fucking farce of how it's not even close. Literally the most evil thing that anyone can possibly do is something that Trump allegedly did, which is pedophilia. Just to clarify, pedophilia, guys. So, I will not convict until proven guilty. But as they say, where there's smoke, there's sometimes fire. And there is a lot of association and correlation there between Trump and Epstein. So, I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not going to convict the guy. But all I can say is, when I read that story about this allegation, I almost started throwing up because I was so disgusted by the fact that might be true. I don't care who it is. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little passionate here. I'll try to tone it down. I don't care who it is, Trump or anyone else. That is the most sickening, wrong thing that I can think of, aside from like Buffalo Bill, for example. But maybe it's worse, actually. It's I don't even want to judge what's worse because both of those are fucking evil. So, all right, let's do everything we can to turn this back into a fun, positive podcast, shall we? All right, the Board of Peace, in quotations with a question mark. I don't know what that is. Hey, Alexa, what is the Board of Peace?
According to Wikipedia, the Board of Peace, or the Peace Board, is an international organization with the stated purpose of promoting peacekeeping around the world.
Okay, and how are they doing at that? Alexa, how well is the Board of Peace doing current day? How relevant is it?
I'm not sure what went wrong.
Hey, Alexa, didn't Trump say that people at that recent deal, something they were calling him daddy? Can you talk about that?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Gosh, you know what the fuck? You know, they should give her... I was trying to make it tie in... Yeah, let's not even go there. Gosh dang Alexa. It needs to be sexless. You know what I mean? It needs a they-them voice so that we can't... Yeah. All right, I'm not going to stop recording just so that I can figure that out. Something about the Board of Peace. Maybe tune in next week. Maybe I'll get it right the third time. All right. Trump said that we're very much ahead of schedule with the Iran thingamajig, so that's something, huh? According to Trump, we're ahead of schedule. So, hey, you know, I guess they appointed a supreme leader. They didn't appoint a supreme leader. I don't know what's going on. I was seeing some chart, like a flow chart of what the supreme leader even is, and then there's like all these other people that appoint, like appointees and titles, and it's like super different in how their government is structured. But I don't know. I'm hoping for good things because I'm always praying for innocent people and civilians that don't have anything to do with this stuff. And they live all over the world and in countries all over the world. And there are plenty of good souls and innocent civilians in Iran that need our prayers at this time, and all over, on all sides. So, and what I mean by sides is just people that are living in different countries that are peaceful. You know what I mean? So, I'm not saying there's good people on both sides. Like, I guess it's important to differentiate so that I'm held accountable for my own words here. I think you guys get it. Do I really have to say it? Like, there are innocent people that live in Iran, there's innocent people that live in Israel, there's innocent people that live in the United States, but I think all three of those countries do have some people that aren't innocent. So, usually it has to do with people that are in positions of power. Not always. Power is not automatically evil. So I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. Let's move on before I dig myself into a hole and then Buffalo Bill shows up out of nowhere. Am I right? Okay, cool. Ukraine is helping us with technology that shoots down drones, and that it developed in defense of Russia's drones being used against them. So that's pretty cool that Ukraine is coming to our aid. They owe the U.S. I know that, Zelensky probably doesn't like Trump very much, but he does, he has been helped by the United States very much, and thus kind of like strong-armed into helping Trump. So appreciate that, Zelensky, for helping us, the United States of America. I do appreciate that. And yeah, is there anything else about this Iran conflict that is noteworthy of me talking about, other than it's just casualty of war sucks ass, whether you want to call this a war or a conflict or epic fury, whatever you want to call it, casualties of war suck. And there was a school that was bombed early on of women, which is very sad. I don't know. Just there's a lot of shit. War can be a shitstorm, and I think the world could use very strong prayers now more than ever, because there's a lot going on right now. Shit's in play. Shit is fucking in play, and it's unfolding before our eyes. Every day is a new day. The landscape changes. I think I don't know enough to comment further on it. Fuck it. I wanted to make a joke about how, like, Trump, it's like he's like boxing with a mirror, because like every day he doesn't necessarily have a plan, but he reacts to things and then changes the game and changes the landscape. So when he tries to stab the mirror, then he reacts to that. It's just like, dude, you're fucking fighting yourself here. I don't know if that makes sense. So maybe I should cut that out. Anywho, next point, Claude AI pushed back on... So, I guess the government wanted to use Claude as its form of AI for things, and the CEO, I believe, pushed back on its use, making sure that it was being used, that there were safeguards on protecting us in various forms, and the government was like, we'll just go with a different one then, and now Claude is suing for being punished for, essentially doing the right thing. So good for Claude for freaking pushing back. Hey, good for Claude, huh? Good for Claude for pushing back. You know what I mean? Nothing better than a pushback. Am I right? Anywho. Alright, the sun's coming down. I probably should turn on the lights so that I can... Actually, let's finish the segment and then we'll turn on the lights for our viewers. For the next segments. The KC airport was recently shut down for a little bit. There was a bomb threat there. I've traveled in and out of the KC airport many times. It's a small airport, so that sucks. Hopefully we're back on track. Hopefully the freaking TSA pre-check is back on track. I'd like that. I'm going on a trip coming up. We'll talk about me later. Right now we're talking about what's going on in the world. Shame on me. Shame on you, Mike. Okay, sorry about that. Let me cower down in fear and ask for forgiveness from me. All right. I'm thankful for me showing mercy on me. All right. I'm forgiven. Thank me. Thank you. All right. I think that's good enough for what's going on in the world right now. There's always shit going on. There's too many things to talk about. How do you fucking fit it all into 30 minutes to an hour? I don't know. I don't have the answer to my own question. It's too much. It makes my head want to explode. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow with the stock market or the future's up or down. I don't know. I haven't had time to check yet. I don't know. All I know is every day I see the market going down, I try to buy more of it until I run out of money. So that's fun, right? Hey! I don't know. All right. Let's clear the mind. What do you say we clear the mind and have a coherent thought? Okay. Cool. My coherent thought is let's move on to the next segment. What's going on in the comedy world?
Excuse me, I don't mean to be rude and interrupt, but are you ready for the segment known as What is Going On in the Comedy World?
Oh my gosh. Another beat?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? This is so exciting. I don't even know what is happening in the comedy world, so please, entertain me. Talk to me. Tell me. What the fuck is going on in the comedy world?
Talk to me. Tell me. Talk to me, Michael. Entertain me. I'm listening. I'm ready for you to tell me. I want to learn. I want to know. I want to know now. Tell me, Michael. Tell me. Talk dirty to me.
All right, you gosh dang sexy human beings. Did you guys see that Jim Carrey has a new face? So that's fun, huh? Hey, some people said it's super creepy. I didn't know what was going on for a while. Somebody texted me like 2 weeks ago. Hey, what do you think of Jim Carrey's new face? I says, what? I says, I don't know. I have to check it out. I didn't know. Is it AI? Who knows? Who cares? You know what I mean? Who carries? Who Jim carries? All right. Did you guys hear Nicolas Cage had something to say about it? Let me play that for you real quick. Apparently it was an interview. Nicolas Cage was speaking about Jim Carrey's face, and I'm going to roll the clip and play. There's something unique about James Carrey's face, but I'm going to be honest, I am not bothered at all. I mean, he's a guy not allowed to get his fucking face off. All right. Yeah, thanks. That was cool that we were able to get some. We were able to extrapolate that and put it on the podcast for you guys. Cool. Anyway, who gives a shit? As long as Jim's happy. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully it goes back to normal though. I mean, do you remember when Tom Brady did that roast and his face looked different and nobody commented on it? If I was roasting Tom Brady, that's the only thing I would have talked about. I'd been like, hey, I guess 18 Super Bowl rings isn't enough to make you feel good about yourself. You still have to get face work done. But I will say this, I'm actually jazzed that his face went back to normal. I've seen in football games that he commentated on this past year, his face looked back to normal. So maybe Jim Carrey's new face will go back to normal, similar to how Nicolas Cage's face went back from John Travolta's face back to Nicolas Cage after the movie Face Off, you see. Anywho, did you guys watch Saturday Night Live over the weekend? I took some time last night after driving for Uber on the side as my side hustle. No big deal. No, hey, humble brag, right? Hey, humble brag, huh? Just driving for Uber, driving my fucking whip for Uber on the side to get more fans. If it's a hot chick, I'm retired. If it's a hot chick that's a passenger, I'm retired. If it's not a hot chick, hey guys, just a struggling comedian, make sure you tip me well. Anywho, Jim Carrey, Saturday Night Live. Oh, let's actually just Saturday Night Live. Just Saturday Night Live. Actually, Jim Carrey, okay, let's really get all over the place here. I was watching a thing, so, my algorithms send me a lot of comedy, so I saw this video, it was a YouTube short today, where Dave Chappelle was talking about how Jim Carrey had a huge influence on him, which is something I never knew before, by the way. So Dave and I both have been influenced by Jim Carrey, and Dave was saying stuff about Jim that I thought was incredible and similar to how I feel about Jim, which was really cool actually. And by the way, Adam Sandler's kids like Jim Carrey movies too from the 90s. So anyway, kind of wild to see how Dave Chappelle was saying that he got to meet Jim Carrey for the first time through Norm Macdonald, actually, because Norm knew that Dave liked Jim Carrey a lot. So when if this story is true, what Dave was saying is that when Norm did the movie Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey, he got to meet Jim Carrey, but Jim Carrey was in character as Andy Kaufman, so he didn't get to meet Jim Carrey as himself. He met Andy Kaufman, which is what Jim Carrey was. So that was like a pretty wild and fun story to witness. And what was I going to say? So that's a Comedy World update. It was a cool story. Sorry that I don't have a better ending. Actually, the ending was that it reminded Dave Chappelle of trans people. But that's... I was afraid... I didn't even want to repeat the joke because I didn't want to give it the wrong context. But it was pretty... The whole thing. It was just... I was more intrigued by the story, actually. That, first of all, the fact that Dave and I both looked up to Jim Carrey at one point. And that we saw him similarly, as many of us probably saw James in the 90s, in the mid 90s, when he was like at the top of the fucking world, and now look at his face. But no, I hope he's happy and that his face goes back to normal. That's all I can say. I didn't think that Jim's new mask was really that disturbing. I mean, we've seen all kinds of masks, like Stanley Ipkiss from the movie The Mask, and Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs, and Leatherface. All right. I guess there's themes of each podcast. I don't know why the fuck this one became a Silence of the Lambs theme, but it just did. All right, so that's just what that's gonna be. Okay. Let's hope, the new dictator of Iran doesn't like to wear faces, you know what I mean? All right. Anywho. All right, let's move on. Saturday Night Live. They did some topical sketches. I watched the cold open, which was Colin Jost playing Pete, what's his name? Hog's Breath. And then, which was kind of fun. It was a little bit fun, huh? And then I watched the Weekend Update. I like the cold open and I like the Weekend Update because those are the parts of Saturday Night Live that are like truly like created that week. So I don't remember any of the jokes, but obviously they talked about Kristi Noem. They talked about... It's fun to know that the things that I talk about are also the things that are talked about on the late night shows. So I think I'm hitting the same veins. You know what I'm saying? I'm hitting the same veins, which is actually not what you want to do if you're a drug addict. You want to make sure you get a different vein, but you know what I mean, right? Hey, and maybe there's something to that. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about the same things, but I'm sorry that I'm just talking about the things that I think are important. Okay, sorry. Apology accepted from me to me. Yeah, Saturday Night Live. What's his face hosted this last weekend? The girls like him. Ryan Gosling, huh? I thought his monologue was pretty fun, actually. I watched it and I giggled. Didn't he? It was like the monologue with, what's-his-face, the guy who's hosting next week as a cameo that kept on taking away. It was like a funny little thing that they wrote, you know? Just a funny little thingamajig. Hey, that was kind of a fun little bit that he did. You know, it's always funny when people, hey, like, that was a cool bit. But I guess it was a bit. What's his fucking name? The guy who sings... and he's going to host next week. I'm sorry that I can't even remember Childs. What's his name? He's a singer. I didn't even know it was a man. The name sounds like a woman name, and I forget. So I'm going to have to... Hey, Alexa, who is hosting Saturday Night Live this coming weekend?
Martin Short hosted the last episode of Saturday Night Live on March 7th, 2026. The musical guest was Hozier.
Wait, who's hosting next week? Damn it, was the fucking thing a rerun? What the hell did I watch yesterday? Hey, Alexa, when did Ryan Gosling host Saturday Night Live?
From ScreenRant.com. In 2017, Ryan Gosling hosted Saturday Night Live Season 43's premiere episode.
Now you guys are going to think I'm fucking crazy. Like, hey, Alexa, Ryan Gosling hosted, like, last night, didn't he?
Here you go.
Hey, Alexa, I thought Harry Styles is the person. I thought that was a woman. Hey, isn't Harry Styles hosting this coming weekend?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Damn it. My phone is recording the fucking podcast, so I can't look this shit up, and now I just look crazy. All right. Let's fucking do some work real quick, damn it, and look this shit up. You fuck. All right. Is Harry Styles hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend? Boy, this is going to be crazy if not. Yes, Harry Styles is hosting and serving as the musical guest on March 14th. Oh, he's doing a double whammy. How special. Mid-March there, right? So that means, hold on, let's double check. Ryan Gosling must have hosted last weekend, right? Let's see if you guys can beat me to the Google search. Don't you hate when AI fucking fucks you? Yeah, Ryan Gosling hosting this weekend. I hate when AI is wrong, and that's why we can't rely too heavily upon technology, guys, because of shit like this, and it makes you look like a fucking buffoon. Can you imagine if I was doing a presentation for the entire world through my podcast, and you know, and it made me look like a fool? Oh, that just happened? Okay, well, you know what I mean, right? Anyway, fuck. All right, cool. Who gives a shit? All right, Saturday Night Live. That's the update for SNL. I didn't watch the other stuff, so sorry. There's only so many hours in a day, and I have to jerk off, give myself head, and make money doing Uber on the side. Or do I do it because I want to? Or do I do it because I like to get my name out there and pass out flyers? Who knows? Who knows how much money Michael Oldroyd has or doesn't have? Who knows if his net worth is negative, zero, or positive? The mystery is very exciting. You know what I mean? The mystery is very exciting. All right. Alrighty then. I saw some fight over the weekend with Joe. So I guess this is kind of a Comedy World update. I guess Joe Rogan does the UFC stuff. You guys know that. I don't guess that he does that. He does that. And I saw two dudes fighting each other on the main event. They both looked like James Franco to me. I don't know if you guys saw that. And it was just both of them looking gay the whole time, like cuddled up on the ground, you know, just all floor grappling. The whole fight was so boring, whilst still being intriguing, I guess. But it's like, dude, come on, guys, get off the ground. Am I right? I guess that's not going to be funny unless you saw the fight. But James Franco versus James Franco, so that was cool. And James Franco won. The one with the really hot wife, by the way. I shouldn't say that. I don't want this guy to kick my ass. Sorry. The James Franco that won with the bleached blonde Eminem hair, his wife came out and she was very beautiful. I'd like to compliment him. Good job, dude. And his children or child were there, and that was fun. And the camera kept... I think everyone was like, oh, who's that woman? oh, wow, that guy's doing well for himself. Okay. Okay. Huh? And then the camera, was, blocking her technically. Like, you know, they have the foreground and the background are like, don't upstage. Well, she was definitely upstaging everyone. And you could tell Joe Rogan wasn't focused on her, but I'll bet that he was trying not to look at her. I'll bet that anyone would be. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm forcing my eyes over here. I'm going to interview the guy that just won, but my peripheral is definitely paying attention to that woman there. I think you guys would have to see it to know who I'm talking about, but she was beautiful. So good job to James Franco. Shout out to James Franco. And James, please don't kick my ass for saying that. I was a football player. I consider myself a tough guy. I don't have any desire at all to be a UFC fighter. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't feel any motivation to get in the octagon and have a dude fucking kick me with his heels while we're laying on the ground and I'm suffocating. You know, I don't have any desire to get punched in the face from every angle while we're laying on the ground and this dude is taking his heel and trying to dig it into my femur. That just doesn't attract me in any way. Anyway, I think that's pretty much my update of as far as what's going on in the comedy world. So, any questions?
Hello? Are we doing this again? I thought you just talked about what's going on in the comedy world.
My comedy world.
Sorry, I didn't know that what's going on in your comedy world is like more important.
It's not.
Oh, it's not? Oh, that's why you put it third. Okay, I apologize.
Bukkake?
Well, let's listen. Let's listen to what's going on in Michael's comedy world, you freaking narcissist. Okay, what is going on in Michael's comedy world? Michael's comedy world. Michael's comedy world.
All right, what's going on in my comedy world, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I am looking to go to Colorado in 2 weeks and looking to put on a show or two, one in Denver, one in the mountains. I'll be there on the 23rd, so I'm looking to put on a show the 23rd and in Denver and the 24th in the mountains. I'm going to do a couple days of snowboarding. I'm going to do some R&R, even though it's not rest at all. It's actually work for my femurs, once again. For my legs, you know, and I won't be getting any sun unless for some reason the timing sucks ass and there's no snow. So I guess that's always an option because it is mid-March. Who knows? But I've been strength training. I've been doing some wall sits to keep my thighs taut and tidy. I need to be putting on a show. I'm overdue for a show in St. Louis, and I apologize to you and to me for that, really. I apologize to us. Because I get a lot of people asking me when the hell I'm performing in St. Louis next. I almost had the opportunity to step on stage at Helium over the weekend, which is a separate thing in St. Louis, which I did not, that did not happen. But, nevertheless, oh, what else is going on? Yeah, freaking, so two things. First of all, I can't say who, and I don't want to over flex here, but I am looking to be doing some potential work in the cruise ship market. So there's some conversations taking place. I do have an agent for that market. There is some conversations taking place. Can't say who, can't really say anything. Don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but I am excited by the reputable brand, maybe even brands that are taking a gander at Michael Oldroyd, and it looks like things are moving. So that's part of the sitch there. I did have a social club in St. Louis that I connected with that would like to see me put on a show. So, you know, we've got different movement in different sectors, you know. We've got market movement for Droid Entertainment stock price. But yeah, we got corporate comedy here at Droid Entertainment. We got, you know, comedy club comedy. We got private shows. We got self-produced shows, you know. Pop up, you know, make a couple people laugh at a coffee shop in Central West End comedy. You know, social media is moving. I'm putting out a lot of content on my YouTube and my Instagram and what have you. Found some some footage from my Meta glasses that I made some content for. You know, walked up to this gal in New York. I have like a ton of content of me walking around the streets of New York and just talking to people. Got a nice little piece of content walking up to this girl saying, "Hey, do you like comedy?" She said, "No." And that turned into a nice little house music beat that I made. As a piece of content most recently on Instagram, and I'm actually really jazzed by that. I love it when you can take some negativity and turn it into some gold. You know what I mean? Now, a lot of people are calling it gold. I don't know if anyone's calling it gold. You know, I find it to be gold, but I'm willing to be reflective on that. You tell me if you don't think it's gold. Anyway, what else? I reached out to, one of the comedians coming through town is Jim Brewer, and I reached out to him on Instagram, and he responded, which was cool. I was going to see if I could meet him or even open for him if there was room on the lineup. He responded via DM to my Instagram, where I reached out to him, and he was really cool, really nice. First of all, any response is awesome. He's got like 700,000 followers, so I'm sure we've never met before, so he owes me nothing. So our response was very swell, and he told me that the lineup is full and they don't do guest sets, but he could hook me up with a ticket. So it sounds like he's down to let me meet him. He told me to keep being funny, which was sick. I mean, that just says a lot about him, you know, that he's a cool dude, that he's got the abundance mindset, and he comes from a place of kindness. So that's my only interaction with Jim Brewer on a one-on-one deal, and I'm giving him credit and love for that, because that's really cool of him to be boss status like that, and to respond to a DM from someone he hasn't met before in the same industry that's trying to continue to grow his name, aka me. And really cool. So who knows, maybe I'll get a chance to meet him when he's here at the factory, and I plan to take him up. I heard his stand-up is spectacular, by the way, so really excited to see that, and thankful. So that's kind of a little bit off the top of my head of what's going on in my comedy world. Do you guys have any questions? I mean, that's pretty much what I've got for you on that front. All right, so unless you have any questions, we're going to move on to the final segment, which is what's going on in my world.
Your world? Oh, what are you talking about? That's like so weird, and I don't know why my accent is changing over time. Who am I? Oh, this is... No, what type of instrument is that?
Bukkake!
That's fun. You're fun. We're fun. Michael, let's hear about you. Oh my gosh, how do you do? I am so excited to be here with you. Let us do this one last segment all for you.
Alright guys, so I had 2 stories that I wanted to share with you, but one of them is on my phone, which is recording this gosh dang podcast right now. So I need to get an iPad or something, or I need to have printed this conversation out prior. So let's save. We're gonna say. I'll tell you what it's about, and then we'll save it for next time if I can remember. So I am on the app Field, which is formerly Thrinder, which was a threesome app, and then I guess Field bought Thrinder. It's like a kink app or whatever, so you can get straight to the point. It's like it's more than just a hookup app. It's like for matching people with certain like kinks or whatever. Or people can shoot their shots from multiple directions, and like you can list like what you're into and stuff. So anyway, it's definitely like, I don't know. I pay for the upgraded version. Forgive me, I know it sounds ridiculous. The only two apps that I pay for are Bumble and Field, because I get more options, and when I'm traveling, it's pretty wild some of the stuff I come across. I was kicked off Hinge and I was kicked off Tinder, but I made a fake account for Tinder. I should explain why I got kicked off if I'm going to say I got kicked off. I got kicked off for pretending to have an OnlyFans, because I was just curious to see like if a couple of the matches would have bought like OnlyFans content had I actually had it, and I never like freaking I got reported, and they like freaking kicked me off. It wasn't even. I don't even have an OnlyFans, you know. I should. I want to do it, but I can't get myself to do it anyway. Anyway, all right. So that's that. But Field was formerly Thrinder, and Spooner. Well, we might have to talk about Spooner later. I'm gonna take note. Talk about Spooner app. It's the spooning app. All right. So we're going to talk next time about how I matched with this couple on Field, and I didn't realize it was a couple, first of all. I thought it was just a woman who liked my profile. I can see the likes, so I liked her back, started talking, and then realized I was talking to a male who was the boyfriend of the woman in the profile picture, who is a cuckold, or an aspiring cuckold, and he literally told me that he's aroused at the thought of a dude who's more alpha than him stealing his girl. So he wants me to bang her, basically. And she also, it's not just his choice, like she actually told him to swipe right on me. So we're going to get into that next time. So hold your boners. We're going to get back to that one. We'll do that one in the future. All right, we're going to talk about that one. I highlighted that so I know to put that in my notes for next time in my OneNote. All right. Anyway, let's talk about... This one's kind of a dirty story, and then we'll clean it up with some positivity, and then I'll circle all the way back and talk about Buffalo Bill. No, we'll talk about the positivity in the Middle East that I mentioned before. So there's a girl who I matched with a long time ago. Actually, we never matched. I just hit her up on Snapchat years ago, and then shot my shot. We hung out one time, and then I travel. This was like years ago, and then she told me one day that she had herpes. All right. So that's the backdrop to this story. All right. So anyway, here we go. I'm not going to say what her name is or anything. I reached out to her on the 22nd of February because we had recently engaged in conversation. I want, I care. I like, just because she has herpes doesn't mean I don't think she is like a human being anymore. Like I'm not, Jesus hung out with the lepers, and herpes is not leprosy. So it's like, I can still be friends with her just because she has herpes. Just because I don't want to have sex doesn't mean that I don't care about her, right? So that's kind of what I'm getting at. So anyway, I said feeling better on the 22nd. I guess she said she was sick. So that's just where I'm going to pick up in this text conversation. She responds after like a positive response a few days prior. She goes, "Yeah, I have zero interest in speaking with you. Leave me the fuck alone. You aren't worthy. You're not a good person." So let me just rewind and say, hearing that was disturbing considering I've never been anything but nice to this person. So I said, "I forgive you for those words. Take care." She said, "You forgive me." I said, "Also, it's 1,000% clear you have a controlling man in your life." Because that's what I thought. Like, that's the only thing that would make sense for her to like. I didn't realize if she had a boyfriend. I didn't know, but now that was my hypothesis, right? She said, "Oh my G," I don't like to say the Lord's name in vain. So, "Oh my G, I am so grateful." That was exaggerate. I don't know what that means. I said, "So I forgive him too. I'm probably texting him now. I forgive you, bro." That's what I said. She said, "The only man I have in my life is." She has some pets, so she mentioned that. So I said, "I've never done anything harmful to you. So if I'm not a good person, then tell me why, because that's very mean to say." She said, "What is your severe interest in me?" By the way, I don't have a severe interest in her. I'm being a good person, all right? So anyway, she says, "Why do you continue to contact me? Why do you continue to talk to me? What is it?" I said, "Because I have a soul." She said, "I never said you were harmful. I never said you were rude. I never said you hurt me. I've never said that you're a bad person, but you continuously keep trying to contact me. What do you want? Do you want to take me on a date?" I said, "I'm a bad person. Why?" She said, "Do you just want a good friend that's pretty?" That's a self-evaluation there on the pretty part. She said, "What do you want? Why? I said, "I wanted to take you up on your..." She does a service, and I was going to try to pay her to show that I give a fuck. And not just to show it, but to actually give a fuck so she can make some money. Now, I'm not going to say what she does because I don't want any of this tying back to this person. It's anonymous. But I was basically like going to pay her for her profession, which is not prostitution or anything like that. It's a real like professional service, and it's not a massage. It's like, wellness. Anyway, I was trying to be cool and be nice and empathetic. So I said, "I wanted to take you beyond your service of blank and to catch up as a human. I'm not trying to do anything harmful or rude. And if you can't tell me why I'm a bad person, then it's null and void." She said, "I think you have ulterior motives." I said, "You think?" "I don't. You are human and I'm human. That's it. You're pretty, so what? I'm attractive." That's what I said. She said, "I don't know why, but I just don't trust you. And if you want to take me on a date, ask me on a fucking date. And if you want me to do this service for you, then I will, but I just don't understand. You have contacted me for what is almost 6 years now. What is it? Be fucking honest. It's going to get you further." "I'm cool, fine. No worries," she says. "But I don't think that's what you want is the service you mentioned. I think that you want me for some reason. Why?" I said, "I don't have ulterior motives. I'm not trying to hurt you or me. I just truly thought it'd be nice to catch up if I got this service from you, and at least you'd get some money for it. I'm not trying to fuck you or date you, and if you truly want me to leave you alone, I will. I'm surprised by this reaction, but I'm not mad. I guess I can see why you're confused. I used to want to fuck you, but we're both beyond that. Maybe I just give a fuck and wanted to catch up is all. I have no ulterior motives. I don't want to hurt anybody, ever. I'm still wrapping my mind around what you told me on the phone, which I don't even remember what that was. She said, let it go. I'm not into someone that doesn't want to be 100% in, so just let it go. She said, we can just be friends, but it doesn't mean that you don't have the opportunity right now. But I'm not a half in, half out person. If you want, you do. If you don't, you don't. Okay, what the fuck is she talking about? This is where I'm confused. It's like, she just told me she hates me, and now she's like telling me that if I'm not fully in, she's not interested. Like, what the fuck are we? So I said, I was interested in you as a human being, and if you have herpes, I wanted to support your business because you matter whether you have herpes or not. If you don't have herpes, then that fucks with my head. She said, you used to fuck with my head all the time, so shut the fuck up. I said, so if you want to just be friends, that's fine, because that was what I planned on. I fucked with your head. How? I'm flattered, is what I said. She said, you wanted me, you would tease me all the time. I said, I teased you? Once again, I'm flattered. I felt teased by you. She said, whatever, I'll just leave it at that, and we can just be friends, and you're not interested. I said, but I wanted to respect your relationship, because at one point, she did have a relationship, so I was leaving her alone during the times, for the most part, whatever. All right, let's... Okay. I said, LMAO, I wanted to fuck a long time ago, but I didn't pursue it because you were taken. I didn't want to be a selfish asshole, so I didn't try to fuck you. On our hangout, we can call it at that bar which you invited me to. Yeah, when we hung out, she invited me out. So she said, I'm not the type of girl either way. Oh, I guess we hung out when she... Okay, hold on. I said, regardless, I didn't push whether you remember it or not. She said, I'm not somebody that has sex with somebody just to have sex with them. There has to be feelings, there has to be reason, and there has to be want and desire behind it. I said, fair, I didn't ever push you, just in case you don't remember. She said, if I don't like someone, I could easily just tell them I have HIV or herpes. That's what I say, and then I don't hear from them again really easy. I said, well, I guess I passed that test then, huh? I still cared about you regardless. She said, the amount of creepy men that hit me up or try to contact me is ridiculous, and that's kind of my go-to move, which I don't know, something that just works. I said, I was still willing to give you business and support you without trying to fuck. She said, thanks, and I hearted it, and I said, it's the truth. That's my truth. I still cared. And I didn't want to get seduced even if I'm attracted to you, obviously, because I don't want to get herpes. Jeez, right? And then I said, do you still think I'm a bad person? And she said, not yet. I said, good. She said, where does the good go? I said, sometimes in the darkest of places. I guess we're getting deep now, right? She said, I said, if you don't actually have herpes, that really changes things in a way that I haven't processed yet. I said, I don't think I've ever lied to you. And then she sends me test results. She said, this was December, nothing detected. I said, the fucking with my head continues, LOL. Tell me how I fucked with your head, because I had no idea. She said, you did a lot of fucking with my head. You wanted me, but you didn't want me. You wanted me, then you didn't want me. And he made jokes, and it wasn't funny. Who's he? I said, I always wanted to fuck you, but I didn't want to be a home wrecker. Okay, I guess she had a boyfriend at one point. She said, I was in a 5-year-long relationship, and I guess this guy was harmful to her. I don't want to get into her business. She said, I just don't trust men anymore, and I push people away, and the easiest way to do that is to just tell them that I've heard peace and say I have herpes or HIV, and then they'll never talk to me again. She said, I push everyone away. I have major abandonment issues, and I don't want to get attached to somebody and lose them, and maybe I go around at the wrong way, but I protect myself. I said, I'm sorry you've been in a bad situation. There's no excuse for that ever. Aside from that, I said, I've never misportrayed myself. I said, I've always shown I'm a fuckboy, but I've been honest and transparent about it. And she said, yeah, I don't want a fuckboy. You can find someone else who you can be friends with, but she said, you can find someone else. We can be friends, but I'm 30. I don't want to say her age. She said, I'm X years old, and I want someone that loves me. I want someone that wants to be with me all the time and cares about me and does things for me without asking. And if that's not you, then we don't need to do any of this. We can just be friends. Again, guys, all I've ever said lately is that I just wanted to be friends, and then her not having herpes now is fucking with my head, right? So let's zoom back. She said, I have men in states that are madly in love with me, and I've never even met them. They've written songs about me. That's fucking nuts. I said, let's not give me an ultimatum. Let's just see what God's plan is. Fair? She said, I don't want you to want me. Yeah, God's plan. I hearted it. Amen. And then, is there anything else interesting here? I said, why did you send explicit videos with you naked after saying that you have herpes? That fucked with my head. Because she did. And she said, I don't have herpes. I said, you sent me all kinds of videos, including explicit videos. And she said, I don't want your videos. I said, no, you sent them. She said, I'm not sending you videos. What is wrong with this girl, guys? That's not what I'm saying. I'm asking why she used to send me these after telling me she had herpes a while ago. Anyway, I'm asking why you did. She said, I said, have you ever looked me up? She said, yeah, your comedy. I'm done. Good night. I don't like trying to make you believe something if you don't want to fucking believe it. And I'm not going to make you want me if you don't fucking want me. You just have to say, I want you, and speak your fucking truth. I'm fucking done. Good night. I said, good night. See you soon. She said, you wish. I said, you already invited me. Did you retract the invite? She said, you've never left me alone for 5 years. What is it? Because I didn't want you? I don't understand. Explain it to me. What do you want? You just want me to do the service? You want to come over and leave? That's it? I said, I thought you had herpes, so I wanted to get my service. See how you are, make sure you're doing well, and pay for your service. I said, if you don't have herpes, then I'm still processing that. She said, okay, good night. Anyway, I don't think I need to talk more about this. I touched base with her recently in person. We didn't have sex. I'm still apprehensive. She wants to have sex, and I'm nervous because I can't wrap my mind around the fact that she lied to me. So I don't know what to do, guys. Do I have sex with her or not? She sent me some of her recent STD results, but none of them have a herpes or HIV test. It shows that you're clean on everything except the thing you told me you have. So until I see that, if I'm single, then I'm sorry, I don't know. Anyway, she's a wild one. So I don't know if that's interesting or not. It was more interesting when I remember reading it, but anyway, whatever. And then she said, goodbye, handsome. So it's what's up with all these mixed signals? She said, let me paraphrase some of this stuff because I don't need to read everything I'm realizing. She said, She threw an LOL in here at one point. She said, I have plenty of people that believe in me. What? She said, I have plenty of men that want me and pursue me. I have plenty of people that believe in me and empower my friends that love me. But you aren't any of that, and you avoid me. You scare me. You think you're... She's saying all this... She's making all this stuff up. I'm like... She said, you're very up and down and hard for me to... I said, read. I said, she goes, I just don't know if it's a good idea for us to meet. You don't want to be with me. You don't trust me. You think I have herpes, which is like the funniest part of all because... But yeah, I told you that because I wanted to get rid of you, but I won't, and I wanted you to leave me alone. So it worked, obviously. She said, I don't want to waste my time with someone I'm not going to be with, that doesn't want to be with me. Someone that's going to waste my time, make me feel feelings for them, and then they're going to be taken. Okay. Guys, this is too much. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go eat dinner. Sorry, I'm gonna have to finish this later. All right, I'm back. I ate some pizza, and now I need to hurry up and finish this because I need to take a dump. But let me just kind of try to read one or two messages from this conversation that I found pertinent. I skimmed them. I said, we kept going back and forth for a while, and then I said, yes, I wanted to fuck when we met. Yes, you are a human who matters, and yes, I cared enough to still try to be your friend long after thinking you had herpes. She said, shocker. I'm not gonna lie, She said, I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong. You're right, I lied to you. But I did it for my own benefit, not for yours. I like you. I always have. But you've lived in all these different states, and you go to all these different places, and I didn't want to fall for somebody that I can't have when I want to have them next to me all the time, so I lied to you, and I'm sorry. I pushed you away. I push everyone away. Yeah. So there's that. So I don't know if you guys have ever had somebody tell you they have herpes because they like you, when it's not true, to try and push you away so they don't get hurt when you've never done anything mean to them. So that's a new one for me, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm glad that she apologized, and I'm glad that she at least let me know why she was acting the way she was. Also, there was a point in time since I've known her that she did have a boyfriend, and I never tried to hook up with her while she had a boyfriend because that's just not the type of person I want to be. Even though it's a hot porn genre, I don't do that. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that type of person. I don't want to be a homewrecker. And conversely, I don't want to be on the other end of that someday when I'm in a relationship. And I've already had it done. I have dated a girl once that cheated on me, and it doesn't feel good. So I don't want to, do that to anybody. It's not a good thing. It's not cool. So, and the cuckold thing is why it was such a interesting dynamic, which I'll talk about on the next episode. But, it's like on the table. When it's on the table, it's also like less hot, but at the same time, it's still hot. Because it's a new chick. And everyone is into it. So, I don't know who's more excited out of the three of us in the cuckolding situation. But anyway, back to this girl. I have a feeling people at home are like, wait, is there something here between this herpes girl that doesn't have herpes and Mike? Is there some potential here? Is there some potential? I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to get past the fact that she lied to me for years about having herpes, and I guess until I see like an actual test results that haven't been finagled by AI, then it's kind of like hard to get past that hump of the lie. You know what I mean? So like, I guess her lie, if she really does like me, her lie might have backfired on her in this particular situation. Only time will tell. We'll see if I can get past that, pending test results, of course. But that's that. So let's as I promised, let's do one more little shindig here. I wanted to. You know what? I'm gonna save the cuddling thing till next time. I want to keep this episode. I don't want it to be too long, so I'm gonna take note of the Spooner app story or whatever. It's not a story of the Spooner app, but it's a story about me cuddling with a girl and her respecting me, because even though I had a boner, she didn't want to hook up, and I just like cuddled her with a boner, and like was like really cool about it. She said like that made her want to be my friend, and conversely, she found out that I that when I got my heart broken last year by this chick, it made her realize that I'm not just a fuckboy and that I have a heart and a soul. I guess the fact that I got hurt made her like me as a person and a friend, so it made her want to, I guess, be my friend. So the benefits of heartbreak, guys. Huh? Hey. Anyway, so we'll talk about that next time. We'll talk about, note to self, Mike, remind yourself to talk about the dude on field that's a cuckold that wants me to bang his girlfriend, and then also talk about this girl that I spooned with while I had a boner, and she appreciated how much discipline I had not to try to bang her. Okay, so that's that, and then let's end with a prayer. And this is not sacrilegious or meant to be belittling. I'm actually really going to pray. I've done it before in the past, and I think it's good to be centered. So sorry if anyone feels uncomfortable by prayer. This is my own fly fisherman way of doing it. You know, like in The River Runs Through with Brad Pitt, how he develops his own style of fly fishing. Well, I have my own communion with God, and I feel really good about it, and I don't need. Yeah, that's all I'll say. So, dear love to me is God, guys. So, dear love, dearest of all, which is love. I pray. It's weird because I'm praying to love, aka God, while being recorded and heard by others. So normally I don't need to like explain myself when I'm doing a prayer to God, but I feel like I have to do it in such a way that gives context for the people that are listening to. So this is a prayer from me to God, done in such a way that can be understood by others that are tuning in. So that's a sidebar to this prayer. Dear Father and Mother of love, all dearest above. I genuinely pray for the world right now. The world always needs you. It always needs love. We, I, us, everybody. There's no doubt whether people acknowledge that, realize it, or not. We all need you. We all need your care, your warmth, the peace that you give within us, the peace that you restore. And right now, as we go through a challenging time and an uncertain time, which it feels like the last several years, there's been a lot of uncertainty. Maybe, I don't know if that's because I'm an adult now and I'm just realizing it, but I pray that you guide us and comfort us, and that your never-ending strength and power sustain us through all this stuff going on in Iran. I pray for the innocent people. I pray for the people that feel stuck, the people that are stranded, whether they're American citizens, Iranian citizens, whoever it is, surrounding human beings, and just people that are trying to make it by, that really don't even have a political agenda, but just I also pray for the people, in positions of power too. We all need you, Lord. No one is above it. But I pray for especially the innocent right now on all sides, people that are not even wanting to participate in war. The women at the school that were bombed, the innocent people that are just trying to do their day to day and have a roof over their head and eat and feed their families. I pray near and far to that type of person who's just trying to get through it all, get through life and take it one day at a time. And I also pray for those, like I said, in charge and people in positions of power, people on all sides. Praying for your enemies is something that's very important. I pray for our enemies. I don't feel that I have personal enemies because of my relationship with you, Lord. But I know that a lot of people do feel that they have enemies. So I pray for those people and the enemies and those who feel that they're enemies of the United States. I pray for them. I pray for all of us at home, our safety, our health. I pray for Trump. I pray for J.D. Vance, that regardless of my disagreements with some of the things in leadership, I pray that you guide them and help them through this, and that we can swiftly get through this and find peace and prosperity for all people. Pray that you guide the terrorist hands away from terrorism and toward love. I pray that you guide all of us toward love, Lord, and keep us safe and give us forgiveness when we need it. And just wanted to say thanks for everything. Thanks for letting me be able to do this. Be able to be a comedian, pursue comedy, have a roof over my head, have food, have shoes on my feet, have warm blankets. And I pray that others are fortunate enough to receive these types of blessings. I want everyone to be blessed, Lord. So that's my prayer for the world. I love you. I thank you. And in the name of love, I pray. Amen. That's our podcast. That's episode 248, ladies and gentlemen. Peace in the Middle East. Appreciate you. God bless. And as Nicolas Cage says to Buffalo Bill, I forgive you. Go to heaven.
Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. By the way, am I the only one who's horny?